I'm absolutely tired of swatting. But nonetheless, how was your week outside of swatting? Because I'm sure you were swatting like myself.
It was alright. It was weekend.
It was weekend. My week was weekend. I don't know why automatically I went to WEAK outside of WEEK. So you said weekend. I automatically, that's why I started checking like it was weekend. But nonetheless, welcome back. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Teach His Own Podcast. I am one of your hosts, CHRISSIE.
And it's Authentic Anna.
And together we are Teach His Own. Anna, did you really put the lid on that cup like it was coffee?
Yeah, because I'm not really drinking that much. I'm just really trying to get rid of this headache. My head is like pounding.
So what was the purpose of the lid?
Just because I just wanted the lid on it. This flies flying around and all kinds of shit.
Anna, you are a true fucking auntie.
I don't like that shit.
You really are a true auntie. Like, you really do a lot of auntie shit.
I just need a little lid.
How many nieces do you have?
3.
Yeah, you are an official auntie. Anytime you get to more than 2, like, you are a super fucking auntie. That's why you do super auntie shit.
3 nieces.
With this Coretta Scott bun, go ahead. Yes, it's the double X for me.
Fucking hate you.
I was watching Martin Luther King FBI last night.
Oh Lord.
I was. You know what? Speaking of that, just real fast before we jump into what's going on, they said at the end of that documentary that in the year 2024, that's when the judge allowed for them to release all the official FBI tapes that they had on Martin Luther King. And I'm like, what's the purpose?
I don't know.
They had different people, in the documentary talking about how they feel and what type of impact they think releasing the tapes in 2027 would have. And I don't think it would be worth anything. Like, the things that are on the tape, I feel like the public is already aware of. Like, a lot of what's on the tape is what y'all was trying to get him caught up as far as, his infidelities within his marriage.
And of course they would release it when AI starts to become...
Yeah, I'm like, it's already public knowledge, so we don't need to hear,
like alter something,
put some details.
Shocking fake wow factor in there.
Not a shocking fake wow factor.
Yeah. With the AI situation.
I just don't feel like we need it. And if I was his children, I would fight against it. We don't need it to be public. If you want to make it public, if anything, give it to us and have it, be in our possession.
Girl.
Because I just don't feel like it's necessary. It just kind of irked me to kind of read that at the end. I just want.
Well, maybe it's a way to get money off of it. Who knows? I don't know.
Please. They say patooey. But anyway, speaking of patooey, we're going to jump right into what's going on. First of all, do you know who this little girl Lotte is? I feel like I've seen her face before, but I didn't necessarily know, like, what she was popular from.
I literally saw her for the first time when I woke up from my nap yesterday. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm squinting. I'm just trying to, child, my temples. But I just saw her yesterday for the first time ever. I have no idea. All I seen was Lotte's son. I have no idea what... I don't know.
Like I said, I do feel like her face was a little familiar, but again, I didn't know where she knew him from. Hopefully, by the time this is out there, some more detail as to how and why her account was hacked. But they had released that the little girl was dead, and she was not.
Oh.
She is not. Apparently, it was a hoax, and then I saw some follow-ups that talked about the hoax was put in play because there was something that she had in the works that was supposed to be coming out, so it was kind of like a marketing thing.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I'm like, I don't ever want to be killed before I'm dead.
Yeah, no thanks.
Like, I don't want the world to think I'm dead and I'm not. Like, I want y'all to think I'm alive and well so we can party.
That's made up. I don't understand why you would do that.
Especially with
the child. It's just
they
like,
said apparently her account was hacked, but I think, again, whoever hacked her account was a part of, the hoax for whatever it is, because they said she had been off the scene for a while, and, apparently, again, had something in the works going on. But I'm like, that was really, really weird. Mm-hmm. But what I decided to do was to attach that to an article that we had sitting for a while that was about celebrity death hoaxes in general. Like, there were many different stories that went out throughout the years about different celebrities being quote unquote dead, and it was either a hoax or it was miscommunication.
Or Twitter
went
killed
out.
them.
Twitter killed them.
Twitter killed a lot of people that wasn't dead. I blame Twitter.
Damn,
I blame Twitter. What about y'all? Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Listen,
I blame Twitter.
But when
Twitter
I went through this list,
there was a long time.
When I went through this list and I thought about the people that we kind of would have fake probably cared about, I was like, some of these people that I've heard about, but some of them I didn't. I never heard that Drake was dead. Drake is on this list.
Oh, you know.
I never heard that Drake was dead. I never heard that Rick Fox was dead. He's on this list. I never heard that both. You know what? I'm lying. I do remember the hoax that Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake had died in like some sort of accident or something like that. Like back in the day.
A mess.
Who else is on this list that we possibly would have cared about? Steve Jobs, really no. Jackie Chan, I never heard that he was dead either. Nor Lindsay Lohan.
I heard the Lindsay Lohan one.
You heard Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah. I can't remember the details, but yeah, I definitely remember that. I remember that one.
Justin Bieber, The Rock, and Vin Diesel are also... Michael Jordan and Martin Lawrence are also on this list. I have never heard the hoax about Michael Jordan and Martin Lawrence. Bitch, I would have died.
If they would have said Uncle Martin was dead,
bitch,
I would have been highly upset.
Bitch, y'all would have had a double funeral. Because I'd have been right there with him.
Not you died too. You know what? Come on, Food Flies.
Girl, I'd have been right there with him. But I'm just like, it's amazing how much, especially with the internet being as advanced as it is now. And I think about it, these were older stories. Like some of these were like maybe like 08, maybe like as late as 2016, 17 or whatever. But even Beyonce is on this list. I've never fucking heard of that. Like, so some of these stories were like, I don't know what kind of community... Shut the fuck up.
I just automatically thought about that day in Campus View. From my point of view. Shout out Yo Gotti. When our girlfriend, you know who,
fucking hate you.
The one and only Beyonce stand of us all.
Oh my God.
Was reenacting that part where she dropped from the ceiling and she real hoarse, like she don't got like much of a voice, so her trying to sing was just funny in itself, but
oh my God. Why did you just throw me off with that, yo?
Child, she was in there stretched out on that couch like like a brat. Child, that was funny. I'm sorry. Let me stop. But anyway.
Yo, you are annoying. Shout out to whatever city Beyonce Renaissance tour is now in, by the way.
Right, exactly, child. Yeah, because that tour doesn't end until October 1st.
Yeah, so shout out to wherever city that is it now.
Yes.
I've been seeing the different blogs and the posts. You guys are having a great time. I've seen a few posts that went, damn, okay, I probably would have went to that. But you guys are having a great time. Shout out to y'all. You are a fucking fool.
Sorry.
And I'm dead. Speaking of that, so that ends that. That ends that portion of the what's going on. But just real quick, did you see Get 'em Granny?
No.
It was a grandma who had to stick up for her fucking grandchildren in Walgreens because they were racially profiled.
Not stick up for her kids.
No, I'm dead ass serious.
What the Walgreens do now? Because they pissed me off when I went to go renew my passport and I went and got my picture taken twice by them fools and they got rejected 2 times. I was mad as hell. I was mad. They pissed me off too. So what the hell did Walgreens do? I believe Grandma. Because what the Walgreens do?
Grandma wasn't lying because the employee admitted to it. Let me tell you what happened, y'all.
Not the employee.
It'll be a couple weeks by now. Hopefully by the time we watch this, we'll have some updates to the case with them being able to get some sort of lawsuit or whatever, some sort of consequence to the employee or some sort of resolution to the situation, you know. So there were 2 young boys, either 2 or 3 young boys who went into a Walgreens. Let me see exactly if it says what city this was in, just really quickly.
What city need my
It does not. They have a country accent a little bit.
Maybe it's Midwest somewhere,
or it could be somewhere down south. I'm not necessarily sure. I apologize to
because Midwest is definitely. When I was listening to somebody talk up, I definitely said their accent is definitely. The South meets the West. It's like right. It's like right in the middle. My point of view.
Don't piss me off. Nevertheless, so there was a grandma. The young boys couldn't have been no older than 14 years old. Somewhere between 12 and 14 years. Young men, 12 and 14 years old. They stopped for the Walgreens to get a little snack or whatever. Apparently, grandma stayed outside or in the car while they went in and got whatever they wanted. They didn't even get a chance to pick up anything yet before the employee said, "Get what y'all gonna get," and before I called the police.
Well, then.
And I said, "Oh, well, what the fuck?"
Yeah, what did they
So
do?
I'ma just real quickly, I'ma play y'all one quick the first video with the young man reported to their grandma.
We walked into this Walgreens, right? I don't know the address, but we walked into this Walgreens, and me and my cousin were gonna come in and just get something, get some kind of snack or whatever. And then this lady to the side, she said,
This lady to the side?
Cops. And then Tavia was like, wait, who, us? And she said, yes, you guys. So where's the lady at?
So that was the young man's side of the story, and then they proceed to walk into the store, and grandma said, "Where's the lady at? I want to find her." So grandma goes in there and she approached the young lady. She asked him, pretty much what's the issue. They were coming in here to get a snack. And the young lady admittedly said so. Like, I did tell them they could go purchase whatever they're going to purchase and cash out right here.
Right.
Or if not, I was going to call the police. And grandma proceeded to say what she absolutely should. They're citizens. They have a right to come in here and purchase things without being harassed by you. They didn't do anything to harm you or harm the store or to incentivize that they were going to, possibly steal or anything. So don't profile them.
Yeah, right.
She said because if they were white kids, you wouldn't approach them and approach that way. So grandma, of course, proceeded to ask for, the store manager. She went to call corporate. She was like, well, I don't have corporate's number. You're going to have to go online. Bitch, you got corporate number in there somewhere.
What? Yeah,
as
what?
An employee, if you fucking need corporate, you have access to the number, bitch.
Yes, you do. Lie. Yeah, that's a bold-faced corporate lie.
Of course, the manager's contact information and so on and so forth. So I feel like grandma absolutely handled it and carried it well because
go ahead,
the young lady, the employee, she was either, white or white, Hispanic or whatever like that, and she was being condescending. She was like, okay, ma'am. Yes, okay, because you could tell that the grandma was upset, but she wasn't like yelling overtly and being super aggressive, but you could tell she was upset in her tone. And the young lady was just like, okay, like trying to keep herself calm per se. And grandma wasn't letting up. Yeah, and like I said, and you don't deserve to be a manager. And who the fuck are you? And she ain't said who the fuck are you, that's me, and twist to it.
Right.
But, and who are you?
A little teen.
Right, a little teen. Who are you to just, come at them like that and profile them that way and just let them know that they have to either purchase with you or you want to be called, they're going to have the cops called on. That's ridiculous. And people in the comments were absolutely fearful, and rightly so, of saying this is ridiculous, because if she would have got the opportunity to call the cops, if they were there with unaccompanied, without an adult, and the employee would have got the opportunity to call the police, it could have ended very badly for those young men for no apparent reason.
Yep.
For no apparent reason. Just because she simply just decides that she saw two black kids. She said, well, we've been having a lot of, store robberies and things like that. That doesn't mean anything. So because they were black, again, you decided to profile them and jump on them before they even did anything. Because again, if they were white, you wouldn't have did it.
You wouldn't have did that shit. Talk about it.
Whew, girl. So all I could see was get him Granny. And Granny did exactly what she was supposed to do, because my grandma would have did the same thing.
Yeah.
I had an instance when I was younger where my grandma did something similar. It wasn't anything like that serious. But I had to call my grandma down to the corner store a couple of times.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Trying to get over.
Right. Well, grandma, they try to say, I can't get you cigarettes. Hey, you send me down here
every other day. They used to send us with a note in the money.
Yes, I'm like, you send me down here every other day. They try to say, I can't get you fucking cigarettes, grandma. Okay?
I remember
but
these.
Shout out to that grandmama in whatever state, city or county she is in.
Riding for her babies.
You stood up for your grandsons, and you didn't get super aggressive and take the route that people would have expected you to take.
Right, and while sticking up for them, the bigger picture is that you set an example while doing so.
Correct.
So they know how to be articulate and assert themselves in this world as young black men in the future. And anytime they feel slighted, they know that they have the power and the wherewithal to speak up, because that was how they were brought the fuck up.
There it is.
Why did I say the F word? I should have left that out. Go ahead.
It was the passion.
Okay.
It was the passion in your heart. Okay? So that wraps up the what's going on in the street segments for us. So we are going to move forward to the boss of the week. This is actually, I can't remember who off the top of my head, but when I was doing the research, it's somebody that we went to college with. So shout out to the boss of the week this week, the Wiz Cafe. That is the WIZ Cafe, all one word, on Instagram. They are a breakfast and brunch restaurant, located at 3622 North 17th Street here in Philadelphia. You guys can find their menu on Instagram, follow them, interact with them, see what kind of specials, sales, good things they have as well. They are open Sunday through Saturday with different hours that fluctuate on Sunday, so be careful. They also, do catering as well. And for those of you who are interested and wondering, they have no pork products. So again, shout out to our boss of the week this week, The Wiz Cafe. And you guys can also order online at thewizcafe.com.
Yep, I see Fruity Pebble waffles and all kinds of stuff.
Them Fruity Pebble waffles are super popular there. I still haven't had them.
They probably be
Too sweet for me, I think. For me personally.
Me too.
So yes, that was our boss of the week. So we are going to go ahead and get into our topics for the week. It's a debate about parenthood. Now again, I be tripping on it because I didn't trip it this second the other. And you selected all of these topics. And when I saw this topic specifically, I said, oh shit, I know exactly why she put this one on the list. Because it's a debate, between the ladies of our age or up and coming who don't have children and or may not want to have children versus those who do. So how you want to play this? How you want to start this off?
I don't know. However,
bitch, you put this on the list. You gonna stop telling me I don't know? Yo, she gonna stop putting these topics on the list and then gonna tell me she don't know how
I guess we just start off with the slides.
I didn't know if you wanted to slide through all of them or if you wanted to hit on certain ones specifically.
I mean, because every slide is something different.
Every slide is something different. So I guess we'll start off with the first one. So there is a thread of tweets that argued or discussed this specific debate that originated from, excuse me, y'all, this fucking gnat is killing me, that originated, bitch, from this tweet, from this, I know you fucking gnat, bitch. It just keeps going and going and going like a fucking Energizer bunny. But anyway, so, the initial tweet states, I'm not saying have children, but those of you in your mid-20s to mid-30s flexing about not having or wanting children will live a very lonely life once you hit your mid-40s. The immediate response to the tweet stated, kids are not a loneliness alleviation scheme. Only have them if you want to be a parent. I completely agree with the respondent statement. Yeah, to that. Because, and honestly, I agree with the follow-up statement that tweeted to her, Miss Curly Styles, stated, if you're having kids to avoid being lonely, it's going to be a bad end for your child. It's going to create overbearing parenting, and when they are now in their 20s, they're going to do everything possible to run from you. Love yourself before you can love anyone else. I absolutely agree with that.
You better learn how.
And I feel like synonymously, women who are having children to avoid being lonely is the same as saying, it's the same as women who are saying, I have a baby because I want to have a baby because I want someone who only loves me or loves me for me.
Y'all can lean on that.
I despise hearing that statement. I really do.
Well,
no shade to anybody, but that's just how I feel about it. Like, I despise it and I feel sorry for you at the same time. Because if you got to a certain point in your life and you feel like you've never been genuinely loved, I genuinely feel sad for you if you have to have a baby just to have someone in this world that genuinely loves you for you. But that's still not no guarantee. People grow up and hate their fucking parents. I hate to tell it to you and break it to you like this, but they do. There's no guarantee that your relationship with your child
it's a good chance that they might
is going to be good. Exactly.
Right.
It's going to be perfect, especially if you're only having them for those reasons.
Yeah.
Like the young lady said, you're going to become, it's high risk chances that you're going to become an overbearing parent.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to start within yourself, because if you're just thrusting all of that love into a baby, it can become too much once that child gets to a certain developmental period and understands that, okay, man, you're doing a little bit too much.
Right, yeah, like it's, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this overprotective parent syndrome. And shit.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Hmm.
And another tweet of it says, like, if you're lonely, go get a dog and make some friends or something. Why are you relying on children for emotional fulfillment? And I felt that with 100% of my soul. It was the go get a dog for me.
It was the why are you relying on children for emotional fulfillment? Because coming from my point of view, that is developmentally speaking, that is absolutely positively 1000% correct. She didn't even need to add the rest of that statement to that. Why are you relying on children for emotional fulfillment when children are still learning self-regulation? Mm-hmm. They're still learning how to identify emotions, and they're still learning how to appropriately respond to others, you know, in different social settings and situations and circumstances. So they cannot provide that. They can't yield the results or the outcome that you want, that you know, of this void that you're trying to fill. So in a sense, it's a super selfish thing to do. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just solely speaking, why would an adult, someone who is supposed to be, you know, working towards their optimal self and more in a position, you know, with the more experiences, not saying everyone has the same one, with more time here to figure out how to navigate. That's so unfair. So, you know, like, I think those are really big shoes for a child to fill, and I think that you owe yourself more than you think you do deep down inside. So, yeah, when it comes to healing and when it comes to your own personal development and emotional fulfillment. So there's some inner workings that need to take place before you decide to have a child. Because how can you be a good parent to them anyway? Like, exactly. Come on now, it's just having a parent who isn't emotionally intelligent is probably a hell of a roller coaster ride. Ooh. Nobody's parent is perfect, but to have someone who's truly and like hasn't had that, you know, a healthy model or know what it looks like, or at least asserting themselves in ways and educating themselves and like, all right, how can I be better? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again, I feel like that's synonymous to mm-hmm. what I said as well. Like, you gotta love or the previous two as well. You have to love yourself first. You know, mm-hmm. That foundation starts with you. With you, yeah. And last but not least, there was a point to which you said specifically about being selfish that leads me to the last tweet of this thread, which states, having children is actually one of the most socially isolating things I have done. I 1,000%, when I tell you this might be the most resonated tweet that I felt in my soul, because I feel like, personally, this is for CHRISSIE, if I feel like if I have a child, that it will completely isolate me from the world.
I feel like I have witnessed women who have expressed these same sentiments, mm-hmm. whether it be verbatim or in a roundabout way. Mm-hmm. Because they feel like they're no longer, they lose a sense of themselves because they're so wrapped up in, you know, fulfilling this role and getting to know it, you know, especially when, you know, because I feel like motherhood is different. Each child, I feel like you come back it brings you back to square one again, because every child needs something different. Mm-hmm. You're in a different place in your life. They, or your spouse may be with different circumstances. You may be in a different levels financially, so you get to give them a better life than you did your first child. Your first child may have been your tester or struggle baby, which is what, you know, us kids who grew up in like the 90s and early 2000s, that's what our parents joked around, used to say, oh, you was just the tester kid. You was just the, the first kid, I was figuring shit out. Like, mm-hmm. I dropped you, I did this, I did this and that. All those jokes and, growing pain sort of situations. So, I mean, yeah, some women really do. Like, postpartum is nothing to mess around with.
It wasn't just
you feel like, so that within itself is isolating. And then you have the feeling of, you have friends who have kids versus the ones who don't have kids. So you the social scene starts to look different. Like, I have an outside look of what that looks like, because I myself am not a mother, but from what I have seen and from the, women's whose stories I've listened to, and they've been very transparent, this is definitely something that I can say was very popular amongst how they felt. Like,
mm-hmm. And from a different perspective, and it would be mine as well. First of all, my parents are on the go. I don't feel like people you often hear mothers say, oh, I need a break, I don't have any support, so on and so forth. My parents love me and support me, but them motherfuckers is on go.
Yeah, they outside for real. My
parents are outside. So if I had a baby, it would literally be me and that fucking baby.
All
like
day long.
all day long. Like unless I want, I gotta pay for 24-hour childcare, drop them up. Like I would have to literally financially pay for a sitter all of the time, and I would definitely again have to find a 24-hour childcare center because motherfuckers be on go. It's nobody, and again, I don't trust many people. Or I wouldn't trust many people with my child.
Nope.
Okay. My grandparents are gone.
We need to get back to that too.
My parents are outside. Like it's nobody. My friends are outside.
Right.
Like even my friends who have children, their kids is they outside. Shit, their kids damn near old enough to watch if I had a baby right now.
Right.
Okay. So
excuse me, preteens and carrying them.
Exactly. So with that being said, I just don't feel like again I would have that support, and that's why for me I would be socially isolated because I wouldn't have any other choice.
Mm-hmm.
So again, sorry to you women who feel that way about thinking that we're going to be lonely, but at the end of the day, if we're going to be on rich auntie vibes, then I don't feel like I'm going to be lonely. Speaking of that, I saw a post just yesterday about a young man. He was dating a cougar, and I don't know if it was a joke or not. It was on TikTok or whatever, and it was like she's telling people that I'm her caregiver, and that would be me.
I'm crying.
If I was older and not married, I don't even fuck them kids. I'm gonna give me a young man to take care of me and to take care of me.
I'm done. Next topic.
I'm just saying. So if you can afford it, then
hide your sons.
Nah, just what happened to him?
Antoine Dodson.
What happened to him? Jeez. He was hilarious. But anyway, so that was it. Meanwhile, we still team fuck them kids. I don't know if we had to say that, but I was just going to go ahead and just add that in there.
These people know us already. They know our lives.
That's right. So, Anna, this next topic, it was a bit lengthy. So I'm going to go ahead and need you to steer this one because it's discussing the 5 stages of love.
No, not you doing this.
You can't see it? Huh? You want to see it from?
I'm trying to... Oh, here it is.
You see it? Okay.
I kept trying to say I had to log in for what? 5 stages of love.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And I was like, oh, what is this about?
So the first stage is passion and fun. You meet someone of your dreams and fall head over heels in love. You think about them all the time. Love spending time with them. You learn about each other's interests, experiences, and attitudes about life. This is called the quote-unquote famous honeymoon stage. So it's about all about the flirting, excitement, and the passion. You feel butterflies, and your hormones run wild. So this tends to be everyone's favorite. So then stage 2 is getting serious. So you're past the infatuation stage. The love between you guys are becoming deeper. You become a couple and commit to each other. You're romancing each other, and the butterflies are still there. So making love is more intense because it's more meaningful, because the feelings are involved. You feel cherished, cared for, protected, respected, all the things. So then, that last forever thing, seems like it's still in play. But then comes stage 3, which would be the disillusionment stage. So unfortunately, this is the stage where couples break up. Things start to feel off. You are feeling stuck with life's responsibilities, paying bills, maybe kids, and a lot of things to worry about. So to give an explanation, I feel like a lot of times disillusionment comes at different time periods. Like there's no strict... I don't want to put any boundaries or any rigid, walls around what the time frame looks like. This is solely the ebbs and flows of like what happens. So, so everything has turned into a routine at this stage. So whether you start cohabitating together, there's a pattern, there's a process that you guys have. You guys are, learning how each other live and all of that. So the disillusionment comes upon us. And it humbles us and takes us to Mount Humble and has us on our knees at the altar, begging God to help. So, I'm just being, So you start to wonder what happened to all the cuddles, kisses, and romance. I don't know. I feel like disillusionment may come with that. Sometimes it may not. It can be the roller coaster. So then you have the fourth stage, which is the deeper understanding. So if you can get past stage 3, consider yourself safe and stable in your relationship and in it for the long term, because you begin to see each other for who you really are. So underneath all those layers and the representative version of yourself is the real core self. So you acknowledge that they have needs, wishes, and wants and insecurities just like you. So you also have a better understanding of their problems, their hang-ups, and the little quote-unquote negative things, or the things that just simply need work. So moving forward together. So this is the stage where once you guys have ironed everything out, you have accepted each other's weaknesses and imperfections along with your strengths.
This is stage 4?
This is in stage 5.
Okay.
So now we're at stage 5. So moving forward together is stage 5. So stage 4 was the deeper understanding.
Okay.
So stage 5 is like, now that you have accepted everything, you've decided to move forward together, and you now decide to work together on the relationship and facing all your difficulties as one, with the goal in mind that, you guys are going to stay together and be together from moving forward. So at this stage, you realize love is not perfect and it is never smooth sailing. There will be good days and there will be bad days. So you both basically wake up with the choice to accept each other every single day. So those are the 5 stages of love. So do you think that, there's some truth to it, and what, I think the biggest thing that stuck out for me while I'm still speaking is the fact that there is no chronological pinnacle or valleys, peaks and valleys. I think that just comes within the flow of the relationship. I don't think that year 1, year 2, year 3. I think it depends on what happens in the people.
I absolutely agree with that. And I don't know who or what collective of individuals decided to put this together, but they need to go ahead and trademark and theorize this and go ahead and put this in the books, because this was right on point.
Right.
Just like how you have, the stages of change and all of those things like that. This was right on point. Like, literally, as I listened to you speak and go through each point, initially I started to think, well, maybe this should have just been the 5 stages of a relationship, and then as you got to the end, I was like, no, the 5 stages of love actually makes sense, because love can outlast a relationship.
Yeah.
And if you keep the love and you get through all of these stages, the relationship will last. You can have a relationship without having all of these things included, but it doesn't make it a healthy relationship, and it doesn't mean that you actually love one another or are going to work through those different things that are described within those stages. I truly believe that, again, listening to you speak, listening to you walk through those stages, it made sense to be like, yeah. And the whole getting past the disillusionment piece in stage 4 and having that deeper understanding, yeah, if you literally walk through those phases one by one without skipping steps, you will make it successfully through all 5, if that's the person for you. I don't feel like anything in those stages should be forced. I feel like they should all be natural feelings. If you are at this
and
stage,
reciprocated.
yeah, exactly, and reciprocated. I feel like if you're at a point, God damn it, I feel like if you're with somebody and you're within one of these stages and it becomes difficult, or begins to feel forced or strained, then that just may not be, the most compatible person or your soulmate for you.
Right.
But outside of that, naturally standing, it's a very well worded template of what love looks like on paper. Or what getting
Plus
through
a little
love
sprinkle
looks
of
like.
my narration in there,
Yeah, what getting
paraphrasing.
through love looks like on paper.
I was adding my little tidbits about my own experience in there.
It's the same thing.
While keeping in mind, he put a P.S. Most couples don't make it past stage 3, which makes sense. But I just want to say, because you said that the love outlasts the relationship. Yeah, but is love enough?
No.
Drew Hill said it best. Is that So I didn't want to take it away here. So, but like, love is not enough. So you need all. Woo!
That's why you have to. Yeah, it just
you need to you gotta
get through all of these things.
You gotta be on the same page with that.
Those things that are described and those characteristics and things that are described in stage 1 and stage 2 are essential. And if you don't get through all of those things, that's why you won't survive through stage 3 and stage 4.
Yep.
So that's why love is not enough, because the things that are described in stage 1 and 2, again, once you get past the butterfly syndrome and the honeymoon effect and all of that, that's when the real work begins. Again, once your representative leaves, that's when the real work begins. Mm-hmm. So if you can't work through those phases, or that phase, together, then that is why most people don't make it past stage 3. Because you, at that point, at stage 3, you realize, in the disillusionment phase, you realize that, okay, I have been delusional and this is not the one for me.
Or no, not even just that. Like, not even you being I don't even want to say that. Maybe I started that statement off wrong, but yeah, I get what you mean. I started that statement off wrong. It's okay. We're gonna keep that. But yeah, I could see this was good. This was a good piece. It was very lengthy, but great.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So they got paragraphs over here. I'm like, it was giving therapy.
Right.
It was giving couples therapy.
Yeah. It was giving break it down.
Breaking it down, breaking it down. Stop. Okay? So, yo, every time you fucking flip it over. It's like you playing tennis with that bitch.
I'm really been trying to like smash his ass on the table. Like, I don't even want to do that with my own hand, but that's disgusting.
So sorry, y'all. Like, this shit is mad annoying.
Third topic.
Third and final of today.
Yes.
You wanna... Bitch. Take it away. Let's make this bitch. Alright, I bet can't say that.
So don't kneecap your sentences. It's hard not to use little modifiers women are expected to use when speaking. Words like just, maybe, and sort of. That sort of makes me uncomfortable. So if you cut the sort of out, the sentence or the statement then becomes, that makes me uncomfortable. It's a very straightforward black and white thing. Maybe you should leave. Or, I'm just trying to help. No, say, I'm trying to help. You want the person to flat out know, like, this intent behind this, while this may not have came across as what you believe it to be help, I was just trying to help. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to women, these modifiers intentionally soften anything we say, and it undermines us. It's part of the same performance that includes smiling at the time, or smiling all the time, and always being the first to move out of the way when someone could easily go around you. I don't play none of that. You're going to say, excuse me. Now, if I'm walking in your way, I'll move out your way gladly because I'm not a rude person. Mm-hmm. But you, come on now. As women, I feel like, yeah, sometimes the things that we say can come off.
I feel like this is one of those...
too soft when it should be coming off a little bit harder because we just trying to be...
Not even just that. I feel like these are one of those double standard pieces in life because, of course, as a woman who's often labeled as an aggressive individual, it's because I don't stand for shit like this. It's because I'm often very direct versus kneecapping my statements and my sentences when I speak to people.
Right.
And because people feel like, or other people feel like I should be, softer in my approach because I'm a woman. I really don't give a fuck about that, and that's very clear in my character and my attitude and how I speak and how I behave. Again, which is why I am labeled the way that I am. And I'm okay with that. As my mom would say, and you really are right with being that way. You damn right. I'm okay with being that way because I'm not going to let anybody take advantage. You're going to understand what I'm saying, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let you get away with, just blowing up or trying to divert or deflect from the situation just because you don't like how I said something. I'm very firm and I'm very direct and I stand on what I say, and you understood what I said. You just didn't like it. So I don't give a fuck about how you feel about it,
right,
or how you want to flip this on me and make it seem like I'm so whatever way. You just don't like what I said. So go look in the fucking mirror.
There it is.
There you go. And that's that's how I feel about it personally, because this is the area, this is my area right here. This is my area right here. So
I mean, yeah, it's just a simple fact that, I feel like sometimes people often associate certain things, certain qualities and characteristics with being, masculine. Like me asserting myself. Why does that have to be masculine? Why can't I just be a person that, has a backbone? So yeah, stuff like that. I think that's just what the basis of it is. People in their minds associate certain things with, certain things. While I do believe that there is a certain way that a lady carries herself, absolutely 1,000%. 1,000%, but a person that has class moves a certain way also. So, you know.
And for me, again, I don't not move that way. But it's, once I open my mouth, you gonna know you can't fucking play with me. And I think that's the shocker with people.
True.
You know, when you come in and you carry yourself.
I mean, I don't know why it's shocking. I think
like
it should just be like, just
assume
that you can't get over on the next person because you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you. How about if everybody approaches the situation that way? It would be so much easier. It would just be like straight to the fucking point. You know what I mean? That much quicker to just get to the point.
I look at it like this. Cotton plants have, what is it called? Pricks on them.
Yeah.
Prickly things on them. I don't give a fuck how soft I look. No, when you come over here trying me, you gotta be careful or you will get pricked.
There you go.
And that's just the bottom line. And that's for anybody.
Yep.
On anything. Like, everything doesn't necessarily, cause for an uproar or to get a complete attitude. Some things, you can straight talk about, communicate with on a very calm level without things going left,
yeah.
And I think that's what people are fearful of when it comes to women speaking. I think women have been so condensed to this idea of being mute and, standing behind and playing the background that people have this fear that if she does say something, she's going to say too much because she's supposed to be quiet. Or she's supposed to be muted or silenced. And that's really not the fault of women specifically. That's the fault of the societal stereotype that they put on women.
Mm-hmm.
That's not on us at all.
Don't put that on me.
Don't put that on me. Exactly.
I think that's a y'all thing.
At all. So I really feel like that's where the double standard comes in, because it's something that's already, it's this democratic way of thinking, you know what I mean? That's already, the foundation of, our country and the way that we view things. That's already been, spewed into multi-levels and things of society that we just already naturally have to deal with. So, again, I will continue to be, unfortunately, the aggressive woman because I'm going to always counter that stereotype.
Always.
And that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Well, that's all I have to say about that one.
That's it. And that's that on that?
That's that on that.
All right. And that is a wrap for this week's topic. So we are going to move forward to the last and final segment of today's episode. It's our tribe reality check. I felt like we might have asked a question that may have been similar to this, but I could not think of exactly what it was. But when I thought about it, I was like, I don't feel like my response may be necessarily the same. So for this week's reality check, I came across the question that asks, what are you holding on to that is holding you back?
Yeah, I honestly don't have an answer for this question. Sorry, y'all. But if y'all want to answer the question, y'all can definitely hit us up in the comments.
It's a question to ponder on because, and I think that it's a good question to put out there because I don't think it's something that people naturally stop and think about. Because when I came across it, I was like, Because the second half of the question, that's holding you back, I feel like everybody has something that can potentially be holding them back, or something that they could may not be doing or may be doing that could assist them with excelling forward. So from that perspective, I was like, okay, it's definitely something there to it. But taking the time to really self-evaluate, self-assess, and go, what is that specific thing? You really got to kind of put your finger on it because it could be something that's holding you back that you may feel like is good for you. And I feel like for most people that's what it is. I feel like for, again, a lot of people, something that you may think is good for you because you absolutely love it and want it may not be the most beneficial thing for your need and to, expand your quality of life. Just because you love something don't mean it's good for you. And too much of anything is not good.
Everything.
So from that perspective, I just think it's something to put out there into the atmosphere and just have people think about, what are you holding on to that's potentially holding you back? What is something that you can possibly change or adjust? Rather, again, if you can put it in in more synonymous language? What is something that you can maybe change or adjust that can help you with thriving forward versus sustaining you where you are?
Right.
So, just a little something to think about. So, and that's all me and Annette had for that. Because this shit is getting on.
Yes, y'all. So go ahead, check us out on our website. It's in our link. It's linked in the bio. We drop audio every Sunday, visual every Monday, and we would like to welcome you to the tribe. So subscribe, like, comment, join the conversation wherever you are, and make sure you keep coming back every week to see what we got to say, because the scoop be on point. So yeah,
That's right.
yeah. I am Authentic Anna.
And I am CHRISSIE, and together we are
To each his own.
And if you know anybody that can probably benefit from our conversations, just go ahead and tag them. And sometimes you may be sitting here listening to us and be like, I know somebody who needs to hear that. Share and let them know. Other than that, we'll see you next week. We out of here. Bye.